Okay, Texans. They give up a first rounder in the Laramie Tunsil trade. They get a second rounder in the DeAndre Hopkins trade, replace him with a defensive tackle. Okay. I like that they drafted a guy named Charlie Heck. I just think that the Texans are not I don't know. They have a bad GM. This draft class is probably bad. That's all I really have to say.
That's fair. So I'm not super down on this draft. I think Ross Blacklock has a chance to be really good, and I think Jonathan Greenard has a chance to be really good. They're both provided a lot of pressure in college. And then I actually am pretty pro the Charlie Heck pick. I started looking into him, and he had he was in the ACC, so it's take it with a grain of salt. But he had pretty consistently high pass blocking scores, really high PFF pass blocking scores. And he was drafted, and Bill O'Brien was pretty specific about he will be a tackle. So then I started just looking at the line, and it's okay, well, they actually had Tunsil was overall good, not great. And then on the other side, they had a rookie named Titus Howard who was fine.
Oh, but yeah, they people swooped in. The Eagles swooped in ahead of the Texans and took Andre Dillard, and then they panicked and took the next best tackle available. Yeah. And people were pissed.
Yeah, and it's he was fine, but he played okay when he was at guard earlier in the year. So it's if they could put Charlie Heck at right tackle and then push this guy into left guard again, then it's actually probably an improvement for their O-line.
How many times have teams actually pushed tackles to guards and stuff? Because I feel that's something people say a lot, where they're well, we could get this guy, push the guy into guard, and I feel it almost never happens.
I think it happens, at least with the Broncos, it's happened a lot. I mean, it doesn't always have good effects, but Titus Howard shouldn't have been playing at tackle to begin with, probably.
Okay.
He was he played better earlier in the year when he played at guard and was a little bit more overmatched out on the tackle position.
All right. So you're a little higher on the Texans draft. To me, it's not a lot of draft capital, not a lot of players I recognize. Who cares?
Yes. Yeah. Fair enough.
Colts. Okay, they get our YouTube sensation in the waiting, Michael Pittman Jr.
Yeah.
They take luxury pick Jonathan Taylor, running back. Great running back. Doesn't matter. They get a safety, and then they get Jacob Eason, big armed quarterback out of Washington.
Yep.
All of these picks make sense based on where they are right now, where they have a lot of good pieces. They want to make Phillip Rivers' job easier. I like taking a fourth round pick on a potential backup quarterback when you have an old guy on a 1-year deal. Sure, you're probably going to be back at this next year, but it's what would a fourth round linebacker do for you really this year? Very little. Use the flyer. So I like this draft as much as I think running back is a waste. It's and the Colts are not the Chiefs or the Ravens. I can kind of see them being let's get this luxury pick for our offense for this year, where we want our quarterback to have as easy of a job as possible.
Yes, exactly. So they're not the Chiefs or the Ravens, but they are in a somewhat similar boat in that they took a running back high and I didn't hate it. I was sure. Give Phillip Rivers a combo of Marlon Mack and this guy, whatever his name is. I keep forgetting his name.
Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Okay, yeah. Honestly, that will help. Just sure, why not? And to me, they're similar to the Browns in that they made contact. That is my review of their draft. It's they hit the ball, they hit a bunch of singles, and I'm on board. I think Michael Pittman Jr. will be pretty good. They needed a receiver. Great. They probably got it. They probably needed a second running back. Great. They probably got it.
I decided that I didn't like Michael Pittman Jr. So I'm deciding it's arbitrary. We're in sports media. We get to just make stuff up. I've decided Michael Pittman Jr. going to be a bust. Get out of here, Michael Pittman Jr.
Damn, dude. Damn. Tough.
Jonathan Taylor is fun to watch because he'll just run to the outside, and then a linebacker will come up and hit him, and he'll just kind of shoulder him and keep running to the outside. So he's one of the only power outside zone runners that I've seen, and it's really fun to watch.
Dude, people just bounce off his thighs at an alarming rate.
Yeah.
I will say his highlight reel is sort of a bummer because it's like, oh yeah, he sure kicked the shit out of South Florida 6 times.
Yeah. Okay. Titans. We got Isaiah Wilson, the big tackle out of Georgia. The other tackle, Christian Fulton, corner out of LSU. They got a running back in the 3rd round. Right, late 3rd round, right on the edge of that running back value chart there. Then a few other guys. Who knows? They were good. They got some good players. Who cares?
Yeah, I like Isaiah Wilson was supposedly a reach, but it's like I don't know anything about O-line play, and like they seem to be pretty good at picking O-line players, so I sort of just trust them.
Yeah, I like it. Get some young O-linemen in there. Who cares? Jacksonville Jaguars, they had a lot of picks. They go C.J. Henderson, Caleb Von Chasson, 1-2. They get Laviska Shenault and Davon Hamilton, then wide receiver and D tackle in rounds 2 and 3. Ben Barch, a guy that you liked, that OT from St. John's, and then some other guys and stuff. What do you think?
So my first thought is that for whatever reason, if you are named Shaquille and you play NFL football, you are definitely a linebacker. That is the first thing I noticed. Shaquille Quarterman, I was like, think of every Shaq you can think of that plays in the league, with the exception of the Griffins in Seattle, because there's Shaquem and there's a Shaquille Griffin, and I think Shaquille is a defensive back. But it's like outside that, it's Shaq Barrett, Shaq Lawson, Shaq Thompson. Just like,
isn't there a Shaq Evans?
Maybe, I don't know. All I know is I was like, why is every single Shaq a linebacker? There's no Shaq wide receiver.
Shaq Duvernay Tardif. Oh no, wait, his name is Laurent. Sorry, mixed that one up.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's my first thought. Yeah, I think the Jaguars. It's sort of another Vikings situation where it's like, yeah, they win because they had twice the ammo as anyone else.
And they were like, okay, we lost Jalen Ramsey and Yannick Ngakoue. Let's get C.J. Henderson and Caleb Von Chasson.
Yeah. I've sort of talked myself into C.J. Henderson. I was a pretty big C.J. Henderson hater before this.
Yeah, me too. But I've read great things about him and watched the tape and been like, eh.
Yeah, so I rewatched him against Lamar Chase because that's like that's the best matchup probably that he had this year. In terms of like best like barometer of a future pro.
Right.
And it's like he gives up like 140 yards and 2 touchdowns, but it's like 80 of those yards are on 1 touchdown, and he gives it up because of incredible play design and a really slow linebacker on his team getting in his way. Like, it's like, yes, he missed it, but like I don't give him full blame on it.
Right.
And then the other touchdown, his hand is like, he couldn't have played better defense. There's nothing he could have done about
right.
It just was a touchdown. Sorry, dude. That sucks. And it's like, the more I read about him, he played that whole game injured. And I was like, if this dude did this while injured, I might understand why so many people had him as like, this guy's going to be good. I started to sort of be like, oh, I might have been too hard on him. Yeah, dude, I liked Ben Barch's value. I think, I'm a big PFF believer on offensive linemen. They have a pretty successful track record. Yeah, dude, they just took a lot of players, which is good because they needed a lot of players.
Totally.
Even I think Laviska Shenault has a really high bust potential. I still think that. I think he's really, really good when he's healthy and has had a long history of not being healthy. But you know
what I'm looking forward to?
Huh.
I'm looking forward to Minshew dumping the ball off to Laviska Shenault, him absolutely obliterating a cornerback on his way out of bounds, and Gardner Minshew running up to him and giving him a bunch of taps on the helmet for blowing the guy up.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's fine. For the entire AFC South.
I would say Jags 1,
Colts 2,
Titans 3, Texans 4.
Yeah, I agree.
I like that with the Colts, you can see the plan. You can see what they're trying to do. It makes a lot of sense. Some teams who have fine drafts, I'm like, well, what's your plan? So there we go.
One note on the Colts is that the safety Blackman out of Utah that they picked it's so funny with the Zoom thing that just came out of the field.
Right.
I think Blackman has a chance of being really good. He's one of those like high risk, high reward injury people we saw where it was like he was being projected as a round 1 guy for quite a while, and then fucked up his ACL.
Yeah.
I think that is my order as well. Jacksonville, Colts, Titans, Texans.